And I felt I need to go home. I need to prepare. I went back home. And as I was praying for the night, it was going to be an all night of prayer. He said to me, I'm not going with you. I will not be with you. He said, I'll not be with you until you lay everything down and choose me as your only reward. I prayed. I thought I gave up everything. And he kept saying, I'm not going with you. I was so tired. I fell asleep on. I fell asleep on my knees. In the evening around 6, around 8, I was woken up. I dressed up and I went back to town. The place was packed. People were even overflowing outside. I called, some of you know Brother Michael Chimuli. I called him. I said, Michael, sit there. I still have something to finish with the Lord. I went inside my office and I got down on my knees. I said, please, Lord, go with me. This is what, it's you who called me to do this. And he said to me, I'll not go with you because you have things that you treasure more than you treasure me. I'll not go with you until you choose me as your one reward. I was crying and crying. Then he said to me, lay down your ministry. Do you know that you love the work more than you love me? You are willing to do anything for the work. You will do anything to keep that ministry, to protect the ministry, to build the ministry. You love the ministry more than you love me. Lay it down. I said, Lord, what does that mean? Does it mean I stop building the work? He said, no. But promise me, even if the enemy will strike the work, you'll never turn away from me or my calling. Promise me that you'll never choose the comfort of having a ministry above my name. It was not easy. I said, yes, Lord, I promise. He said, no, you've got to let go. You've got to let go in your heart. And I cried, and I prayed, I pleaded. I reached a point where I felt I've let go. And he said, give me your family. Give me your wife. Give me your children. I said, God, what does that mean? What does that mean? I said, promise me that whatever happens, you will never turn away from following me. Even if any of them is taken away, you'll never turn away. Trust me with your family. That was hard. I struggled. And I couldn't. And he said to me, this is for your own good. Anything you retain is what the enemy is going to use to pull you down. You think you love them more than I love them. But if you don't give them to me, the enemy is going to use them to pull you away from me. By his grace, I came through to that. And then he said, give me your name. You love your name. You love your reputation. You love to protect your image. You care a lot about what people think about you. Give me your name. I said, what does that mean? How do I do that? He said, promise me that from now onwards, you'll never defend yourself. It doesn't matter what people say. Doesn't matter what happens to you. You'll trust me with your name, with your reputation, with your image. I cried. I prayed. And I reached a point I said, okay, Lord, I give it. And he said, what if one day I let you, I let the enemy pull you down? What if you come into disgrace? What if everybody turns away from you? What if you're rejected? Do you promise to stand? I remember I reached a point I didn't understand anymore. I was coiling into myself. I just cried and cried and cried. And I reached a point where I said, take it all. Take it all. It means nothing. I don't want anything anymore. And he said to me, ask me anything. I'll give it to you. I didn't understand. And he said, ask me 2 things. And I promise you, I'll give them to you. And I asked him, said, Father, you sent me to the nations. Give me the ability to love your people, even when my nature would not love them. I said, give me a foothold in every nation where you send me. Give me an inheritance. Your word says, ask me for the nations and I'll give them to you for an inheritance. There was a long silence. Then he said, go, the people are waiting, and I'll go with you. And he said, this is what you will say to the people. I'm calling all of you to enter into a fast of 90 days without food. Don't you fear, I will take care of you. Only liquids. And in that fasting, I'm going to open up this nation to you. I'm going to open up the president. I'm going to open up the pastors. I'm going to open up the traditional churches. I'll open up the parliament. I'm going to give you a scepter over this nation. Call them to fast, and as many as yield, anoint them tonight. I stepped out of that office and I took a bottle of anointing oil. I gave it to Brother Michael Chimuli. I said, Michael, go in there and stay in there until I call you out. And I walked from the office, which was at the back, like from there to come to the pulpit. I've never seen this, and I've never seen it again. The people who were on the platform, I don't know what happened to them. As soon as I appeared at the back, everybody laid down what they were holding and they rushed away from the platform. And I was coming from there. There was like a pillar pushing people back. They're falling left and falling right. And I got to that platform. I began to share the prophetic word he had given me. And I was in tears and the people were in tears. For over an hour. Then we called those who want to rise up and commit to the 90-day fast. Everybody rose up. I said, sit down, you don't understand. This is 90 days without food. And everybody rose up. We prayed that night, we anointed everybody. And the whole place was like full of slain bodies. People on their faces, weeping and groaning and crying. Until morning. I did not go back to home. I went to the office and slept in the office. I woke up around 10 a.m. and I was amazed. There were messages from people in different cities and different towns of Uganda asking, we heard that a national fast has started. Can you give us information? I said, how did you know? They said, someone told us. All day we were responding to people from Kabale, from Kisoro, from Kitgum, Gulu. They were sending messages, they were calling. We heard the fast has started. And I knew this is the Holy Spirit. The whole nation was drawn into a fasting. We trained teams and we sent them out to go across the nation to speak out what God had spoken prophetically. Everywhere they went, they found people fasting. They found people really seeking God. I don't know how many people fasted, but I believe there were over 10,000. And then we started getting phone calls from pastors. We heard that there is a pastors' meeting. When is it? Where is it? At first we said, no, we are not aware of any. But the phone calls were coming. And we realized God is moving ahead of us. So we rushed. Pastor Simeon had given us permission to use his place. We organized very quickly. And now we're sending out the information, and pastors were calling and saying, I'm coming, I'm coming. And it was supposed to be on a Saturday. On a Friday, I was ministering in the lunch hour. Someone brought me a note. And I ignored it. I continued speaking. And he came and said to me, they are waiting for an answer. They are on the phone. I said, who? He said, President's office. I said, what do they want? He said, President wants to see you tomorrow. And I said, let me finish preaching. After preaching, I got all the information. They left a number, we called it, saying the president wants to see you in his home, village home in Rakitura. Transport has been provided for you at the parliamentary buildings. You can go with one more person. You are expected for lunch there. But remember, the next day we are meeting pastors. So we got together in a little circle and we prayed. I said, God, what do we do here? And the God spoke. He said, stick with the pastors. So we had to reply to State House. We cannot make it. The next day went to the pastors. When they heard, they were furious. They said, how could you not go? But we had heard from him. The wisdom from above. We spoke with the pastors. They cried. And they vowed, we are going to do this. We are going to come together. We are going to organize together. That's one meeting we organized with so many organizing committees. There were organizing committees in the Catholic Church, in the Anglican Church, in the Adventist Church, in the Presbyterians, the Baptists. There were organizing committees with parliamentarians, with business people. Everybody was organizing. People were offering, I will do this, I'll do that. We were being invited every day to the parliament, to military barracks, to judiciary courts, to all kinds of places. Come and tell us about it. And when the time came, the crowds gathered. It was a beautiful sight. There were Pentecostals there. There were nuns, Catholic nuns. There were choir clergymen. There were generals sitting on one side. There were judges sitting on another side. There were people from every district of Uganda. And for 14 days, we cried to the Lord for the healing of our land, to bring reconciliation amongst our people. It was in that meeting, for the first time, that the president came and took the flag of the nation and put it into our hands as a prophetic sign that he is returning, surrendering the nation to the Lordship of Jesus Christ. And that night the Lord spoke to me and said, I've put this nation in your hands. You can determine where to take it. And tell my people, the future of this nation is in the hands of the church. You can determine where it goes.